Hi guys. Oh, sorry. Hi guys, my name is Kelly, and today we're going to talk about all the books that I read in January. Sorry, right before I hit record, I had this really big coughing fit happen, so I'm so sorry that my voice sounds like this. But anyway, in January, I read 2.5 books, which I'm it's good for me. Some of you may be going, really? 2.5 books? But, 2.5 books. They were all themed. I don't think I meant for it to be that way, but it was. All 3 were from ladies of horror fiction writers. They were all horror fiction written by ladies, which I'm really excited about. The first book I read was the Ladies of Horror Fiction Book of the Month pick, and it was The Twisted Ones by Kingfisher. I listened to it on audio. It was not my favorite book. It's my least favorite book. It had a really good plot. It had a really good setup. I don't know if I really liked the writing style of it, but it kept me engaged, so that's good. And I don't know if it was because it was on audiobook. Sometimes I have a hard time liking books if I listen to them on audio, and that's a me problem. I did turn the audio book up to like 1.5, and it was better. Like, it felt like there was more tension and everything when it was faster. So I did like that part of it. I do recommend you read it. If there was this adorable little puppy in it. I don't know if it was a puppy. I think it was an older dog, but he was adorable. And the storyline was really good. Like I said, it could have just been me and the narrator and the audiobook not really, gelling too much. But I did like it, and I do wish I had read it instead of listening to it. I think I would have liked it better. The second book I read was one that I've had for a little while, and it's Craven Manor by Darcy. I absolutely loved this book. It's about a guy named Daniel who's kind of down on his luck, and he's living in his cousin's house. And then he gets an anonymous note, which of course he does, from this guy named Braun. It's either Braun or Bran, but I called it Braun. In my mind, it's Braun, so I think that's what I'm calling him. It's B-R-A-N, so it could be Bran, could be Braun. It's probably Bran because it made some jokes about, like, the cereal food, so that would be Bran, but I'm going to call him Braun because that's how I heard it in my brain when I read it. He got this letter from Braun, and it said, we need you to be the caretaker of this house. You can stay in the gardener's cottage or whatever. It's yours. The house would not be his. He was just supposed to be the gardener to take care of things. But he had 3 rules that he was supposed to follow. One was he wasn't supposed to stay out after midnight. 2, he was supposed to lock his door to his little cottage and keep the curtains closed. And if anything tapped on the window, don't let it in. And number 3, never go in the tower. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was one of my most favorite reads so far this year, because I've only read 2.5. But yeah, I loved it. It was my first Darcy Coates book, and I've wanted to read one of her books for a very long time, and I finally got one, and I am a huge fan now, and I will definitely read more. The last book that I read this month, and I'm not finished reading it. I just bought it. I bought it. When did I buy it? Like Saturday, I think. I'm on page 138. So I've got a little ways to go. But it's Teeth in the Mist by Dawn Kurtagich. I butchered that, and I'm so sorry, Dawn, and I will make it up to you. I will learn how to say your name, and I will say it better. I'm so sorry. But this book is about 3 girls living in 3 different time frames. Zoe is the modern day person who is exploring the ruins of this abandoned mill house. Ronan is living in the abandoned mill house when it wasn't abandoned, when it was a real mill house, when it was a real house in 1851. And Hermione is the wife of the person who built the mill house back in 1583. And y'all, this is so good so far. I'm loving it. And I love books that have like the different kind of writing styles and like that. Well, that's a normal page, but it has different, of course I can't find one now since like this, where it has things that's not in the ordinary. And it has cool pictures in it. And plus the writing is fantastic. It's it's the first book I've read from her too, even though I do follow her on Instagram. She has beautiful pictures. So I recommend you follow her on Instagram too if you don't already. But this is wonderful. These two books definitely will make it in my horror recommendations video that I plan on making, because if you saw my Instagram rant about going to the bookstore, and they had a whole best of horror section, which is wonderful, but it was mainly like the same 10 people. And there's so many awesome horror writers in the world, and paranormal writers, and ghost writers, and and writers that write about ghosts and things like that, that I just kind of want to get you some more recommendations for it. So definitely, if you like any kind of ghost stories, this is not scary. It's not in the least. Like, it's a very good ghost story. And I think a lot of people don't read horror because they think it's like super duper scary. This is not, like, you could read this with your lights off. I mean, if you could, with a flashlight, look at the pages. You know what I mean. So be sure to pick this up. This one is more of a psychological thing than anything. So I am excited to finish this one and recommend you this one and read the twisted ones if you like twisted stories. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you've not already subscribed. Like this video if you liked it in any way, and leave me a comment and tell me which of these books you've read. What was your favorite book you read in January? And I will see you in the next video. Oh, I can't believe I didn't tell you this. Thank you to everybody who pre-ordered What Rachel Did or subscribed to the channel, because you were all entered in winning a signed hardcover of What Rachel Did, my middle grade horror book that's coming out March 3rd of this year. And the winner will be in the description. I always get that confused. Description, comments. The winner will be in the description. Be sure to check it out. Thank you so much, so much for pre-ordering and for subscribing to the channel. And you mean so much to me, and you would anyway, and if you didn't. But guys, thank you. I cannot wait for you to read this book and find out what Rachel did. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.